All right, folks, so the forum said that you can take the axles from a 2008 Tahoe and you can install it on the 2000 to the 2006 Tahoe so that you can get rid of the spaces that came with the 6-inch lift kit from Rough Country. I want to get rid of those spaces. So let's go ahead and take these axles off and see if the new ones fit. Here we go. Yeah, these angles at full droop are pretty ugly. So this is before we start. We have the spacer there that comes with the Rough Country kit. There's a 2-inch spacer for the CV joint right there. And this is the NAPA extended travel axle for this year truck, 2004. But I'm gonna take this off and the spacer and replace it with a 2008 Tahoe extended travel axle from NAPA. On this side, we have the factory axle with the CV spacer. And again, we want to take that 2004 axle, which is correct for this truck. I want to take it out and replace it with another NAPA extended travel. Now, there are a lot of videos on YouTube on how to take out these axles, and it really is simple. So I'm not going to do it, but I'll tell you. You take off the axle nut here. It's a 35 or a 36. You take off the tie rod nut, which is easy. You take that off, and don't spin it. Don't loosen the jam nut or anything, but just take this off, lift it out, and then you can turn the hub whichever way you want. Once you have this loose and you have all 6 bolts out of the axle, then you just drop the axle down that way towards the ground, pull it out under the differential, and then it slides right out of the hub. So you'll see those videos. That I'm not gonna do. And ladies and gentlemen, if you don't have one of these huge wrenches from Harbor Freight, the Ultra Torque, it makes small work of these little axle nuts. I got that thing torqued to like 160 or 140, whatever. Hold on. Watch this on gun remove it. You don't even have to think about it. That gun is everything, and the battery stays forever. Well, at least the option I got. The battery I bought was the 5 amp hours because the other was just so heavy. Now comes the moment of truth. We got the 2008 axle right here, extended travel from NAPA. I got the old one out, and I forgot to tell y'all, when you're pulling it out, the only way to get it, that's why you disconnect the tie rod so that you can turn this hub in at such an angle that you can find space to pull out the axle. All right, so let's see if it fits, inshallah. Oh, well, it fit, guys. I'm not gonna say it wasn't a bear. I had to get a jack to try to lift that knuckle up to kind of get it more in line. But once I did that, and then it was just fighting to get it in, but it fits. So the 2008 axles on a lifted 6-inch lifted truck will work. Fits in there nicely. The passenger side was easier than the driver's side. I still used the jack to pull that knuckle up a bit. It doesn't seem like the angles are better, but this is at full droop, so we'll see when I set the truck back down, torque everything. And if you guys didn't keep your old hardware, that's the old stock bolts. I'm using the stock bolts from before I had my lift. After I put the lift on, I kept all the bolts in case I wanted to use them again. Sure enough, then 15 millimeters I used again. And then the ones that come with the Rough Country kit, I'm gonna keep these longer ones that fit the spacer. I'm gonna keep that in a box for a spare if I'm four-wheeling and I break an axle. Put these back on. Those are 17 millimeters. So keep all your hardware. When you do a job like this, keep all the hardware. If something isn't broke, keep it. Well, I'll tell you what, guys, that is a much better angle than what I had before. I like these new angles. I think that's a divot in the driveway actually, but that one looks like it's lower. Also might have the torsion turned up more on this side. But anyway, now we got to put it in the dirt and see if it works.